What's up, stranger?
Stress. Been looking for work.
What you looking for?
2 ounces of hard white.
Bitch.
People are always asking me, Kiki, the books that you write, is that about you? Is that about your life? I used to rob drug dealers. I used to traffic drugs. I was a savage. I used to get it, and I didn't care who I got it from.
I've been looking for you for 2 weeks. Where is my money?
And now I can sit here and show you guys a glimpse of my life before I turned it around.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, Kiki. Think harder, right? Where's my goddamn money at?
Mrs. Santana, you look stunning. What are you wearing? And tell us about this new venture in the fashion industry.
I'm wearing a piece from my own line. It's called Kais, designed by my brilliant partner and friend, Karen Blackwell.
Wow. Look at Adriana Santana. She's hot. I don't see Louis anywhere, though. I noticed Sheldon Chisholm and his family are here. Not to mention the other half dozen criminals in here.
Oh, no, you don't. We're here to have fun.
But why are you here alone? Where's your recently acquitted husband, Louis?
Louis is back home resting. He has his share of bright lights and cameras. Just want to leave that whole thing behind us.
No work today. We've been here for 5 minutes and you're already profiling people? Come on now.
And what else are you looking to see tonight?
All of my friends and to show off her brilliant work. Everything that you're about to see.
We can't wait for it.
The only reason I invited you is because you're my best friend and we never get to spend time together. Plus, you're killing it in that dress. Here comes Jess. I wanted to introduce you to.
When are you done?
Roger that.
Then why do you have it?
She told me to keep it!
I'll be out in a minute. Stop with the lies!
He's a very flashy Haitian with a penchant for violence. He's no one to play with, Haitian.
Where's my goddamn money at?
Sakura is dead.
Play with me again. I'm tired of hearing you talk all the time. Save it. Save it.
She's my friend. She's my friend.
But I will not give up. I will not give in. And I will not get caught. Time to go hunting.
And the winner is Wes Clark. Congratulations.
Yes, she's my mother.
Rock stars. There is nothing like those wild, rebellious party animals. Entry number 60. When I decided to pursue acting, I never thought it was this difficult after weeks of being homeless, jobless, sleeping on my friends' couches. I'm finally here!
Just take care.
What are you doing?
Shh. What's going on?
Tribe, they're
Terry.
coming.
Where have you been? I've been calling you on your cell phone all day.
At work.
Faith wake up, dope sick, fiending for a sniff. Left the house, ain't tell her husband she was gone, she just dipped.
Why is it that you are taking large sums of money out of our account every single day?
While her family's at home, she's out there chasing that high. Roaming up and down the block, she run into this pimp guy. He's conversating with her, asked her if she trying to make cash. Next thing you know, she's in front of the pink house selling the ass. Then she gets dope sick again. She need that boy, so she out there searching again. She's tired of her life. For years she done wrong. Now she wanna do right. She go to rehab to get the help she need, and she tell her family.
I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuznetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh my God, you're such a...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem.
You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, a pop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control. I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe. Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now, they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage. What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprints, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holler. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation been my only motivation, yeah.
Up y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching. Up y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the counsel on the IE network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Rita Parks. You're listening to Real Talk Radio with the director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more and nothing less. What's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. Be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media, and we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV and Facebook, aka Meta, the social network. Also on IG, which this week we're not broadcasting on IG because they just been acting real funny style. So, yeah, man, what's going on? Another day, another week. Movie madness is starting to re-explode. I predict that this summer is going to be probably one of the biggest summers since the pandemic. There's some good movies coming out. So we'll see. People are back outside finally, and we'll go from there. Good show lined up for you. A few things we'll talk about. The new Star Wars The Acolyte series catching backlash. Doesn't surprise me with Star Wars fans. um but backlash from the fans, but surprisingly not from the critics. It's weird because normally it's the critics that come with the real, nitpicky and things like that, and it's the fans that usually defend the show against the critics. But this time, leave it up to the Star Wars fandom to review bomb their new show, and makes you wonder why. So we'll touch on that, and I'll go over some stuff how I went into one of these, I don't know, groups or whatever that posted that whole thing, and I'm catching some smoke from some of these fans because I must have triggered them, because I basically said what I said. I've said this before. The Star Wars fandom is some of the most miserable group of people. That is funny because they're to a degree they're awesome, as far as their fan, the fanatic behind all of it, and their fandom. But at the same time, it's like the most miserable group of people that I've ever seen. It's so weird, but always got something to complain about. You think they created this universe, even though, yes, they are a big reason why the universe sustained, the franchise sustained. But let us not forget, the fact of the matter is, you didn't create the universe. So people come in, they tell different stories, and to sit here and what really bothers me, and we'll talk about it, and I'll bring on the council. It's like, well, what did you didn't like about the show? Bad writing. This is what they say. Biggest cop out in the universe. I'll tell you why. See, most of you, I'm about to call y'all Jedis. Most of you Star Wars fans, you think when you want to trash a Star Wars film, series, what have you, the first thing you run to, especially with series, the first cop out that you run to is bad writing. Now, granted, there are some bad writing out there. There is some bad writing out there. I mean, the trilogy, the latest trilogy of them had some bad writing. Not a question. I'm with you all the way. But when you're talking serial writing, there's serial writing, there's episodic writing. When you're talking that, especially serial writing, and you've only 2 episodes in, it's almost impossible to criticize the writing when you don't even know where the story is going yet. I'm sorry. You don't get away with that with me. I'm a writer. I know how writing works. I know how episodic, well, this is not episodic, this is more serial, but I know how serial writing works. And it's too early. I'm not saying that this is going to end up being a well-written story. But, just for the people who may not know, to think they know, we here at Real Talk, we like to educate as well as entertain. And serial writing, episodic writing, they're two different styles. Well, not styles, but two different types of writing. And or shows. Episodic would be more like the Big Bang Theory, right? Where it's different episodes that might tackle different topics every episode, right? And whereas serial writing is like this, like The Acolyte, or like any of those ones, Ozark, or Stranger Things is more serial because it's one overall story that's told amongst different episodes, right? So with serial writing, especially, you might be able to get away with it with episodic writing, where because you can say, I just didn't like that episode, it was stupid, I hated it. Because with the problem with episodic writing is you have to have like a beginning, middle, and end to every episode, whereas with serial writing you don't have to have that because the answer might be in the next episode. You see what I'm saying? So to say that it's bad writing 2 episodes in, almost impossible. Almost impossible. But lo and behold, that's what these miserable fans will say. Oh, it's bad writing. It's bad writing. When we all know the history of the toxic fandom of Star Wars. We'll go there, and we'll get back to it. We all know the history. Let's keep it real. We all know that John Boyega almost quit acting behind all of the nonsense that he went through. He took a break from acting, not just from acting for Disney. You got that poor young lady, Moses Ingram, receiving death threats and racial and she had receipts. She posted all that stuff on her Instagram. People sending her direct messages, racist and death threats, direct messages to her, supposedly fans of this universe. So we'll get back into that. Also, we're going to talk about the new documentary. It's on HBO Max. It's on HBO. It's called you moviegoers out there will remember a name called Movie Pass. I was a big Movie Pass guy. When it came out, I was like, this is heaven sent. I had my Movie Pass card, and I was like, yo, it's on and popping. So I was at the movie theater every day. Me and the wifey was like, yo, let's get it in. Oh, what are you doing today? Nothing. Go see a movie. Right? So Movie Pass came and went like it was no tomorrow. It was like this wave of this godsend for big movie watchers. And then all of a sudden it just went downhill and crumbled right under our noses. We're like, what happened to Movie Pass? I mean, it went from a movie a day, any day, any movie, any theater, right? And then I think it went up to like you could see maybe 3 movies in a week or something like that. Or they started changing it right from our noses. Things stopped working. It just became a disaster. It was so good and it just went so bad. Well, the new documentary, Movie Pass Movie Crash, is now streaming on HBO Max. It's on HBO. It's a great documentary, and it tells you about the rise and fall and possible rise again of Movie Pass. A lot of things I didn't realize that Movie Pass was founded by two black entrepreneurs, right? It was then taken over pretty much by two white executives. And very interesting story. We'll get into it. If I recommend you watch the documentary, it's very good. Brings a lot of things in perspective. And if you were like me, who was rocking with Movie Pass, you'll remember a lot of the stuff that goes on. You're gonna be like, yeah, I remember that. And I remember when Movie Pass announced that they were gonna be back. And I was like, I saw what their new terms and stuff was, and I'm like, nah. So that we'll get to that as well. Yeah, man. And of course the battle of the movie songs. I'm going to reveal the list and rankings today. We were supposed to do it last week. We didn't get to it, so we're gonna reveal that today. Maybe make a few tweaks and then hopefully get it started next week, and we'll go from there. There's a lot of other things going on too that we will announce as the show goes on. Shout out to the chat room. What's going on? My man Eric's in the building. What up, brother? I know shout out to you. Shout out to my ace, your wife. Yeah, man. And of course, Joseph Tanner in the building. Appreciate everyone coming through and everyone over at Facebook. What's up, people? All right, Jess is in the building. Hello, my dear. Blue eyes, blue eye gal. How you doing? She got such pretty blue eyes, people. But I appreciate your support. But yeah, we're gonna get to the Star Wars stuff. I just want to get my Jedi Council on. I was catching a lot of smoke today, which was hilarious because I triggered the fans and they're like, they're going crazy. They're like typing on there. It's them typing. Oh, you can't miss. You're so dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. So it's like the meme or the GIF with who is that? Kermit the Frog or somebody typing. Like they're just typing away. Before I could even answer them, they're like, nah, or let's just say they got the phone. They're like, nah. And I'm just like, relax. But this is the Star Wars fandom. Don't ever question them. Don't ever question their loyalty. So yeah, it's funny. So I'm catching all this smoke. I'm gonna read some of the stuff that was said to me. Just to answer some of the questions. Because I literally said, once again, you can't cop out and tell me it's the writing. Well, what about the writing is bad? Can you tell me that? Is it the dialogue? Is it the pacing? Is it the story? Can't be the story. You don't know the story yet. It's only been 2 episodes. What else could it have been? Not enough subtext. If you even know what subtext is. And I hate to try to, be like, oh, I'm this great, I'm the all-knowing writer, but you can't get a excuse of writing past a writer. Period. Especially when you have an idea of how writing works, and you do have an idea that you cannot possibly judge an entire series based on 1 or 2 episodes. Now, keep in mind, most of the most of the critics that are giving this high praise have seen, if not the entire season, at least half the season already. Remember, we as the media get a lot of privy to stuff earlier. Now, I didn't get, some things we do get access to. I didn't get any access to this early. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But there you go. We'll see. Weekend recap brought to you by boxofficemojo.com for the weekend of it's for the weekend June 7th through the June 9th. Number 5, top 5. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes made $5.4 million over the weekend, bringing the worldwide total to $359 million. Number 4, The Watchers, $7 million over the weekend, bringing the worldwide total to $11 million. Okay. Number 3, If, Imaginary Friend, $7.8 million over the weekend, $160 million worldwide, after coming out, being released on May 17th. That's the Ryan Reynolds joint. And then you got Garfield movie, another $10 million over this weekend. $192 million worldwide. The Garfield movie made a lot of money on international Sony Pictures. And number 1, Bad Boys, Ride or Die, which I'm hearing is a pretty good film. It's a nice ride. It brings you back to the old school, the ride of it all, right? From what I'm hearing. I didn't check it out yet. That's at 105 million worldwide, and it just opened the last weekend or whatever it was. June 7th it just opened. So good opening day. 56 million domestic, 48 million international, opened at 3,800 plus theaters. And that is your weekend recap brought to you by boxofficemojo.com. So we appreciate everyone that's here joining us. We again thank you, and we'll we'll get to all of this stuff, and we appreciate you here, you being there, we being here. This is Real Talk, brought to you by B2S Media, the director and the Jedi Council. I'm the director, in case you didn't know. I brought my Jedi Council with me too. Don't believe me? Here they are. Ralph, Kev, y'all in the building. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Hey, what's up, people?
Hey, people. How's everybody doing out there today?
How you doing on this beautiful day there?
I'm feeling good. I had a good weekend.
Okay.
My hometown was on fire this weekend. We had this big thing called the Mac Fest. Yeah, no, not literally. I mean,
okay.
No.
I was like, is that a good thing?
No. We had this event called the Mac Fest this weekend, and
the Mac
Fest. My boy Vinny, I'm known by nature, hosted it, and we have performances by Tweed and Eric Benet. Half of the group Coffee Brown showed up, but it was just that
half of the group Coffee Brown.
Yeah, because it's a guy and a girl.
There's only 2 of them.
Well, that's half. The girl showed up.
Okay, that's half. All right.
Right, because
the girl showed up.
I did not know that, but they're actually from East Orange. I didn't know that. So everybody, that has something to do with East Orange that does music was there. The mayor. I said this the other day. I said, you know that you're the mayor, that you're the dude when you throw in a party and say, you know what, I'm DJing my own damn party, and he gets up there, he DJs.
Respect.
So
I like that.
It was 10 hours of grown folks and young folks coming together, having a good time. Not one drama happened the entire day. Police presence was out there. Nothing happened. And, we came out. We had a good time. Big up to City of East Orange. And next year is going to be even better. So I'm in a good mood today.
I'm glad that happened. That sounds good. You was like one half of Coffee Brown. I'm like, so one of the 2 showed up.
The girl showed up. The girl was there. So Vinny brought her out of the stage.
Or something? Why
No. No. Cause I guess because the guy was still kind of work because he got a regular job. He works, But she showed up and she just started doing the song. Nobody expected her to show up, and then
After the party.
yeah, So it was. I got some video. Maybe I'll show a little video of how grown folks supposed to act. People, if you watching, how y'all supposed to act. Don't show your asses. Although I gotta admit, what I thought what was funny was that there was it was for grown folks, but there was a lot of grandmas up in there. The grandmas was getting it in. They was up there dancing. Vinny was giving people chains. Grandmamas they was like, I'm here to see Eric Benet. They was there at 12 o'clock. It's like, I'm here to see Eric Benet. I'm not leaving till that man come and say he's so sexy, he's so sad. I was like, what? Grandmamas was getting it in hard this weekend.
There you go.
Don't underestimate grandmama.
It's funny because Coffee Brown, they had that one like hit.
Yeah.
Nice song. I still play it to this day. I do love the song. It was one of those things. I remember, shout out to Heaven Hollywood. Heaven Hollywood never pulls any punches. I remember one time him talking about the group Coffee Brown. He's like, yeah, it's nice. They get, nice little dynamic. He was like, but there was something that came out that they were a couple.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, that was a mistake, especially back then. See, things are a little bit different now because now they're more, really the only people that kind of got away with that was like Ashford and Simpson. Like you've had very rare, you go all the way back to Sonny and Cher. Ashford and Simpson was successful because they were writers. I mean, they were successful recording artists too, but they were more successful as writers, right? It's not that back then that wasn't the move to be a couple because let's face it, the industry was built off of fantasy, right? So the moment people find out whether if there was women interested in the dude or men interested in the woman, and they find out that they're a couple, it's like, oh. And that was a real thing. That was a real thing back then. It's changed now though a bit. Now they're a little more.
Not really. Not really. Even when I was in the music business, I was talking to this guy that used to work for Motown back sisters, and he was saying, we tell everybody if you got a girl, you got a guy, never tell anybody because you always have to feel like the public always has to feel like you're attainable, not available, attainable.
Attainable, yeah, attainable. Right? Exactly, you're reachable. You're even if they may never. Chances are they will never meet you ever, but it's the it's the thought.
Because he said those are the people, especially the young girls. Those are the ones that go get the Right On magazines. Men will go get the Jet magazines. They'll get the Ebonies. They'll get the Teen Crush stuff and have you go in people's rooms and your posters will be up there. They'll get your buttons. They'll buy your T-shirts. They'll come to your concerts.
Our boy Kev has known me long enough to have been in my house. He has seen my fandom amongst you. He's seen my posters on the wall on my door. I had this big, almost life-size poster of Sheila E. on my door. It was like, and she has the hat on and her head down like this. You don't even see her eyes, but she had on this black and white outfit or black and silver, something like that outfit with one leg out and the other leg, and then she's holding a pair of drumsticks, and it was a nice form fitting. Oh, she looked so good in that shot. That was on my door. Yeah, right.
My boy had the pic which I copied. He had the poster of Vanity when she was in the bed and she's got the sheet up to her chest and she just looking at the camera. And you was like, yeah.
Yo, back then it was so funny, man. Fandom back then was fun. Like it's not so obsessive and crazy as it is now. And what I mean by obsessive is it was always obsessive. That's why it's called fan, right? That's short for fanatic. But Now it's different because they're so what's the
It's
word?
different
They're
because
so
of the access and because
accessible.
of the
Right.
Yeah.
They're so accessible. That's the word, Kev. Yep. They're so accessible now. It's almost like it takes away from the fun. Even, I mean, that's in every industry, even in the porn industry, when you think about it, right? Back in the day, the adult stars were like
they were like movie
regular
stars.
stars. Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
movie stars because you couldn't touch them, like you couldn't get to them. You barely saw them even out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they had
Even
their tribe of people that they always
the
were with.
up until the mid '90s, and that's when after 95, that's when everything seemed to like change. I don't know. It just
Yeah. You'd be lucky to see one. If you caught one dancing somewhere, it was like a treat. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, wait a second. So and so is dancing at the so and so place. Oh
And-
man, I got to go to that. And the money and the price was jacked up and you paid it. You're like, yo, I'm going in there. I'm gonna see this. You know, so
and the crazy,
every industry was more exclusive at that
yeah,
point.
that part.
Social media has taken away, stripped away the exclusivity. Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
exclusivity. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
But
of it all.
it's also the oh God, I lost my train of thought. It's also the fact that everybody has a camera now. Everybody has access to a
Yeah,
camera.
everyone has
So
access. Yeah,
so
everyone has
so
a camera on their phone. That was
so
another
it's like
difference.
yeah, so it's like the 15 and instead of having like like it used to like the literally the 15 minutes of fame used to be a thing. It was literally 15 minutes and then like the where's the beef lady, she had her 15 minutes.
Where's the beef?
Literally however many times that commercial came on probably adds up to 15 minutes. But now with TikTok and everything, even what you said about the porn industry. I mean, where amateur video used to be, that used to be like a almost taboo thing. Now it's like
No
everybody
big
got a
deal.
camera. Everybody
No
now
big
you
deal.
got OnlyFans and you got all of this other stuff. So nothing is, and that's I don't know if
Nothing's
this is a good
exclusive anymore.
segue,
Nothing's
but this.
exclusive anymore.
Yeah, and that's what Marvel is trying to bring back. Not to segue off of what y'all talking about, but that's kind of what Marvel is trying to re-ascertain. They're trying to bring back that feeling of an event, like like when something happens, it's like, oh damn, that's happening. It's like that.
Yeah, the internet has really stripped that away, unfortunately, because you think about what Ralph mentioned with the, you put pictures up and then the magazines, all of those went away because who
Everything's
cares about a
online.
picture? Yeah, right. Who cares about a picture in a magazine at this point?
It's so funny, the internet, like how they said video killed the radio star and all of this stuff, but it's
And
crazy.
reality followed, like our girl said, video killed the radio star and reality followed suit.
And,
You know what I'm saying?
really, it's not even reality. Actually,
Well,
it's the
reality meaning part of the internet and
okay. Yeah.
social media is still kind of part of that reality
It's
situation.
reality, yeah.
You know what I'm
'Cause
saying? It kind of brings them, it makes them more touchable, it makes them more obtainable and accessible, so to speak, where you can literally just
But it
say
also makes
something.
you more. But it also makes you more unimportant. Like it makes you like more so like I don't want to, unimportant is the wrong word to use, but
No, way too. It makes people that wasn't important at all important. Some of
yeah.
it. You got
And then the people who are, it makes you,
falling
it
out.
makes you but see, it can make you relevant, you know what I'm trying to
Relevant.
say. I can't. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
It takes that and it makes that less relevant, if that even makes sense. It's like
I mean, it's
at one
not.
point in time where like what I was saying, like with being married, what I'm saying, or having a spouse. Like nobody knew that Denzel Washington had a wife. all of these women just thought that it was Denzel. You know,
Yeah, he's available. I mean, no, shoot, look for all the times R. Kelly. Look how long R. Kelly was married, and no one ever even knew he was married. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that for a lot of people. It used to be that way. Now it's like the new generations and the new wave of people that now are social media savvy and made it part of their world. Now they want to know if you're in a relationship.
yeah, they
Like
want to know
they
your
gotta
business.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
got to
don't
know
just
your
want to
business.
know, they gotta know. And if you're not and you want to be private, then they'll just make up something about you. I don't want to
And
go off
that's
on a tangent. You know, the
that
whole
part.
the whole point is so
Wait, wait,
Oh,
anyhow.
you know what?
I wanted to say one more thing. Hold on one second, Ralph. I just wanted to say one more thing. The other thing that the internet killed was the main thing that you and Ralph was talking about. It killed the whole industry. It killed the magazine industry, and it killed the whole industry of media where people used to make posters and like oh, man, I
Buttons.
miss that, man.
Remember when Michael Jackson Thriller went when like every other day there was like a new button from one of his videos and you had to have
Yeah.
that button. Like, yo, I gotta have that button, and you go searching for it, but then you
Merchandising
find
is got killed. Has lost a lot. I mean, think about just a few years, 10 some years ago in the early 2010s, or in the late 2000s to early 2010s. It even killed. Talk about industry. It even killed a lot of publicists. The publicists and promoter industry really slowed down because of places, like social media, like Instagram and stuff like that, because the red carpet used to be a whole thing, right? They went through this red carpet phase at one time. We were right in Block TV. Every Tuesday night, that was considered quote unquote industry night. Every Tuesday night was some sort of event or multiple events was going on, whether it was red carpets, parties, whatever, what have you, right? In Manhattan, right? Red carpet, a real red carpet would consist of obviously the red carpet, a step and repeat behind you, where people come, and it usually there was a thing where the publicists would have different celebrities, quote unquote, they would make their rounds. They would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go just do this red carpet at 8 o'clock, and then I'm gonna go do this red carpet at 9 o'clock, and I'm gonna go do this red carpet here at 10 o'clock." You know what I'm saying? They'd have rounds. So almost everyone that was doing red carpets would have at least one recognizable face on their red carpet event. It became a big thing, but that is not as big no more because, like, you have a red carpet in the palm of your hands now. Like, everybody just taking pictures on Instagram and posting them, and even the celebrities themselves are just taking pictures on Instagram and posting them. So it's just like, oh, okay. And remember those sites that they had, like alltheparties.com and all of these different things, like
Peoplemagazine.com.
Wire Image, and all these different people that be there, and that they take photos, and you'd have to go to the site to see your picture and maybe download your picture. Sometimes you had to buy them depending on who it was. What was the other one? What'spoppin.net. That was one too. That was a big one at the time. They were like the introduction of blogs. They were like the introduction of blogs and what becomes social media. You had those type of blog sites and stuff. But anyhow, long story short, yeah, it's definitely changed the industry up. But I wanna circle back around to the Star Wars fandom, right? The sometimes, and now it's been more times than none, toxic fandom of Star Wars that always seems to have some sort of issue with. So the new Acolyte show, Star Wars: The Acolyte, which takes place 100 years before the rise of the Empire. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Number one, of course, the Jedi and the Sith are still well, the Sith hasn't really been, you don't have much presence of the Sith at this moment. At least they haven't mentioned it yet. But the
No,
Jedi
it's
was
all
definitely,
peace. It's all
yeah,
like peacetime.
it's
They're
all
like
it's
this.
peacetime. So the Jedi was there and was more, present, right? And supposedly, now amongst that though, from what the implication is, what they're implying, as what they've always implied. If you ever watch or listen to anyone on the side of the Sith, they've always applied that the Jedi is not as perfect as everyone think they are, right? Um, and there's things going on back in this particular time period that may involve Jedi doing some shady stuff or doing some questionable stuff. And well, I guess we'll have to stick around to find out exactly what all of that is. So anyway, the character led by Amandla Stenberg um, is, what's her character's name? Well, she plays two characters. She plays May, right, and then she plays Osha, right. She plays the twin characters, and so obviously they have that situation going on. There's something going on with her character, that hasn't been revealed yet fully. We know a little bit of backstory that they gave in the first couple episodes, but obviously it's still unfolding. Now, here's the deal. Rotten Tomatoes has given this series 92% fresh, whereas the audience score is 28%, right? Rotten. And there is, the headline says Star Wars The Acolyte gets review bombed, sets new record low audience score. So apparently some of the most miserable fan base in the history of fandom is now once again got something else that they need to complain about after 2 episodes of this new series. They're review bombing it, and for whatever reason, I have my suspicions based on history. Okay. So yeah, this is what they're doing. So I responded to one of these posts, and I said what I just said earlier at the top of the show. I said Star Wars fandom are some of the most miserable people. I'll even read exactly what I put that triggered like a whole bunch of responses. And I said, Star, where am I at? I can't even find it no more. Star Wars fans are the most miserable bunch of nerds I've ever seen. That's exactly what I said.
Hey! Now I gotta stick up. All right, I got look. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I'm a Star Wars fan. Been it since seeing the very first movie back at the old Fox Theater in 1977. I know I'm dating myself. What I'm gonna say about the young lady that was in Kenobi, which I mean, this whole thing was 2 years old, but it seems to me that, and not necessarily Star Wars fans, if you're giving them something that they're not used to, and you're putting a different spin on it, it's like, oh, how dare you? Because there's this whole perception that Star Wars is supposed to be like an all white, look, people, look, you dumbasses. The Star Wars galaxy is big. No, yes, Lando Calrissian is not the only black person throughout the entire
20
galaxy.
million 20 million sentient species. Okay, okay. Let's take one off. Take Lando off, and put the 99999 on the rest.
Right, but let's be clear. He's not the only one. Now, as far as John Boyega, I get why there was flow back against him, but it's not John Boyega. It really wasn't right. Because I'm sorry, man. You first of all, right? You put him hooking him up with Ray, and in the end, it was unfulfilled. Like, do they get together? Do they not get together? Or is he losing in the poll? And like he to me, he
Yeah,
was
but that was
too.
changed. That was changed on purpose.
Yeah,
That was changed due to the backlash that they were getting.
yeah. But
No,
they, but they made,
it
but they
wasn't just
made him
backlash.
too.
It was
He
also
believes
the
that.
saltines being salty. All
Yeah,
right,
it was.
Well, I
they
mean,
didn't.
yeah, exactly. I'm saying backlash from that. So
Oh,
what
okay,
I'm
yeah.
saying is, he and as a result of it, he called Disney out on that. He called him out on that and was like, "Yo, how do you set one character up to be this, and then by the time his arc is supposed to be fulfilled, you completely change it midstream to be this, and you didn't have my back." That's what he was basically trying to say to Disney. He was basically saying, y'all didn't have my back when I was catching the racial backlash. I was catching the smoke I was catching. Oh, I shouldn't be able to, he shouldn't be able to wield a lightsaber, blah, 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 blah. All of this stuff, right? And he was saying this, he called Disney out for not having his back when all of this went down. He said he felt like they kind of folded to the fandom and tried to change the trajectory of his character to suit
They
whatever,
didn't.
right?
They didn't try. They did.
They did.
They did.
They-
And they
And
did.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't sit here and say it's because I feel like I want to say it's because I don't think Disney was prepared for that from Star Wars fans because they did. I mean, realistically speaking, they did not have a problem with Lando Calrissian, with Billy D. Williams. They certainly didn't have any problem with Samuel L. Jackson whatsoever. Now all of a sudden you got this guy, and there's a problem with him. Part of it is that, and I hate to use the word, you made him too coony. Like he always gotta help. He gotta help Ray. Like, yo, bro, get some balls. Be on your own. I
well,
understand
no,
you
no,
you may
no.
like the girl. I understand you may like the girl, and that's your character's arc. Should he have been wielding the lightsaber? Why not? Han Solo held the lightsaber. Nobody said, for a minute, nobody said nothing. Should he have been able to deal with the Jedi Master? That's a different circumstance, but that's
Right.
that's in the writing.
That's a whole different. That's a different part of writing. Like I said at the top of the show. Now, granted, I'm not saying when people say the writing or what have you, sometimes it's warranted because I said before, in my opinion, a lot of the writing in the last 3 sequels was not good.
No,
A lot of it wasn't good. So I'm with you. I'm on board with y'all on that. But to take a serial show that and talk about the writing is bad and you've only had 2 episodes, that's almost impossible. That's almost impossible
right?
because you don't even know. I mean, it has to be god awful for it to be for you to be able to say, and it's not god awful. I don't care how bad or good you think the show is. The writing isn't god awful, at least not yet. But
No,
you
and
have
it
to
is
wait
only
for
2 episodes. That's it.
it's only
That's
2
all it is, right?
episodes. It's only been 2 episodes.
Now,
Now,
as far as the thing
since Ralph,
with
you are a true Star Wars fan, let me just say in defense of the true Star Wars fans that were actually here when Star Wars started and was here before Star Wars started and all that
became trendy.
became right. So now, before it became trendy, those people, they don't have this situation. They got some people that's like, oh, no, no. First of all, this is a prequel, right? It's told they went 100 years back. Why? I'll tell you why. When you're as a writer, right? I said this to Kev offline. I mean, he already knows. I'm telling him stuff he already knows. But I mean, as a writer, it's easier to write a prequel to something than to write something that's in the middle or a sequel because you're not bound by the same rules that you're bound by if you're going to tell a story post Skywalker or even pre Skywalker, right? Or pre Luke, we'll say. But post Skywalker meaning post Anakin, the rise of the Empire. Anything in the middle there, anything post after that, you are bound by certain rules that you have to abide by, or else your film is going to flop or your series is going to flop. Because if there's plot holes and things that aren't connecting, you're dead in the water, right?
You're gonna get called out.
You're gonna get called out, and rightfully so. So if you take something
with the
back,
exception of Rogue One.
yeah, huh?
I said with the exception of Rogue One. Rogue One is
Well, I
the
mean,
only.
no, I'm just saying. Well, with Rogue One, but they did it right. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Rogue One would have been
Yeah.
called out too had it not been done right. So, you go all the way back now, pre Skywalker, all right, pre Empire, even. You don't have the same rules. You have overall rules of the Jedi and the galaxy and the Republic and blah blah blah. But you're not bound by the same rules. So you can do things. You can make up characters. You can blah blah blah. Right? You can do a lot of things. So people complain about that. I just want to. I got to do it. I got to read a couple of things that people would say, because I said, well, I really like someone. For you, a big cop out that these fans use is saying the writing is terrible. Okay. Tell me what's terrible about the writing. You gotta have it's got to be something.
I can answer that. I can answer that question. I'll tell you why they're saying the writing is terrible. And it's something that I saw someone say. It's because the Star Wars fans are used to it being cinematic and not episodic. You're used to you're used to the writing for the big screen. You're not used to it, like, because at the big screen, you're telling one story the entire story. That's it. Now you're taking that story and you're cutting it into pieces where it has to get cut up, and you're not used to that. And that's what their problem is.
No, that's not what the problem is. Because how could that be what the problem is? We had oh God, I almost said Rebel Moon. Help me. So forgive me, Zack Snyder. I'm sorry. You had Boba Fett. What's it call it? What's his name?
Which sucked. I'm sorry. The book of Boba Fett was not
the book
very
of Boba,
good.
yeah, book of Boba Fett, which was which was dope. Ahsoka was dope. Mandalorian. That's the main one I was trying to get. Mandalorian was dope.
But see, here's the thing. The thing with the Mandalorian is that they're all broken in, like each book that he's doing aren't really connected to the next book. So you could have this standalone story. When you came to Ahsoka and Scott and Obi-Wan, it's all the same. It's a continuation. Each episode,
and that's what I said. That's more serial. That's more serial writing where it's
but that's
one
what this is. It's serial writing
that's broken up into different episodes to tell one cohesive story. Whereas
and that's what this
episodic is a little more of almost like separate episodes. It could be a big wraparound story to it all, but for the most part, they're little mini episodes within. You may have one or two continuations, like you might have a part 1 and a part 2, but it's mostly little beginning, middle, and ends every episode, and then at the end of the day, it all leads to some big thing, right? So there's a difference, right? But right, I get it. So Mandalorian fell a little more on the episodic side, at least mostly at first, and Ahsoka was definitely serial. Definitely serial.
I finally got to see Ahsoka. Ahsoka started off slow, started rolling a little bit. The Book of Boba Fett, man, I gotta say, man, Book of Boba Fett it was a downer, because I'm sorry, but the best 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, he's not even in it. They went to the Mandalorian. That's bad. That's bad. Now I thought Kenobi was good. I saw some of Endor.
Also serial.
Also serial, but they're very good. But I think this whole thing with the Star Wars fans is it does boil down to some sense of racism, like the girl Moses Ingram. This was 2 years ago. Now that because they were bitching about her when she first came on the screen. But if you would have sat still and watched the whole thing to the end, you see why she's like that. She had a reason why she was hunting down Obi-Wan, because and then you saw it, not spoilers because it's 2 years old. She wasn't hunting Obi-Wan down to get to him. She wanted to hunt down because she wanted revenge against Vader, who tried to kill her when she was a kid. That's what she wanted.
Yeah,
right?
that's what she wanted, and she was an inquisitor. So what I'm saying is, and I'm gonna say it for what it is, Ralph. And it doesn't boil down to some sort of racism. It boils down to
A lot of racism.
A lot of racism, because of the fact that and that young woman posted on her receipts screenshots of people racist rants towards her, calling her racial slurs, giving her death threats, which is just ridiculous to me. Yeah, I mean, she caught backlash. John Boyega kind of came to her defense, and some of the other people, I think it maybe Hayden Christensen or somebody, or maybe even Ian McGregor, who plays
Yeah.
might have came to her defense publicly. So like you have people coming, trying to defend her, and like I said, the toxic bit of fandom that just go out of their way, and these are the ones that are expecting what you mentioned earlier, Ralph. Every lead should be a white male, or whatever. Whenever it's a black, if it's a black lead or a non-white, we'll say lead. Okay, and everything I'm saying right now, guess what? All of these weirdos are gonna label me boom woke. Right?
But don't forget
right?
also even from although these two don't forget the girl that in the second movie Last Jedi, Kelly Marie Tran, same thing with her. She was harassed so bad she deleted her Instagram. Why?
She left social media because she was harassed so bad as well. So here's the deal. They get to this thing where they just decide they're gonna, once again, this ties in a little bit to what we were saying about social media and how it's such a curse more than a gift, because once again, these actors are too obtainable. They're too, accessible, right? You can literally type directly to them what you think of them, and it has nothing to do with their acting. It has nothing to do with their ability to be a storyteller. It has everything to do with their race, or the color of their skin, or just the fact that whatever, or even their gender for some reason. So
and the thing that makes it bad is that people forget that these are like these are human beings you're talking about. Like people, they get into their and on that note, that's what, on the actor side, they need to remember that these are human beings. That's one of the reasons why I pulled back from social media, because my humanity was making me do reckless stuff that was almost putting my family in danger. And
exactly.
And sometimes you just got to be like, you got to understand it's not real. Like they're, and let me take that back. Their comments are real. What they're saying is absolutely real.
What they feel is real.
But what it should not be to you, it should. How is it affecting your daily life right now? Anything that anybody is saying, what is it effectively doing to your life? Nothing.
So
nothing. They're nothing. They're nobody. Because guess what?
Oh yeah,
while you're at home, while you're at home mewing over, well, why me? Why are they doing this to me? They're at home eating a burger, getting fat in mom's basement.
Yeah, no. I mean, here's the thing. It's weird. Social media is a weird thing. It really, the internet and social media has found a way to conquer the psyche of the human, right? Whereas you feel like, because you are dealing with real people on the other end of that computer or whatever, or device, you feel like real. Yeah, it feels it feels right. Internet though, like I call them keyboard killers and mousepad mobsters, gigabyte gangsters. That's what I call them. They all think they're tough, right? What was the other one I came with? Broadband bloods.
Yeah, and until you, but see, and that's and you know what? Not to put drill music in the mix, But that's what kicked off drill music to be so. Oh, word, you're talking crazy. Watch me pull up.
Yeah.
And see, that's the
So
dangerous side.
that's the
That's the
inside. So once again, it makes you psychologically, because you're dealing with real people, it makes this whole ordeal feel real. So if someone says to you, "You're a POS, I hate you, you're this, you're that," um it feels real because it came from a real person, right? So it's almost like, but not realizing that it could be thousands of miles of, separating you. But it feels, because it's right here on the surface, it feels real. That's why you get some people that's like, and then these actors are like, you gotta remember, 9 out of the 10 actors, maybe not as much now, but a lot of the actors that get these roles, a lot of them not even big fans of the particular project that they got cast for, and until they get cast. It happens a lot with Marvel. It happens a lot with all of them, because we gotta remember, people, they are actors. All right, not all actors got time to sit around and be part of a fandom, because they're trying to act, they're trying to work, they're trying to eat, to feed their family. So if you're just coming off of some movie that has nothing to do with nothing, and now all of a sudden, boom, you are the lead of the new Star Wars show, you may or may not be a big fan of the series. Just there's a lot of Marvel people that can't even tell you about the Marvel characters. Some of them can't even tell you all about the character that they play. You know what I'm saying? So the
Do your
the
research
fact,
to find out.
right? Yeah, they do the research, find out. But what I'm saying is, a lot of them, when they first come into it, don't know, or they're just learning. They have to do their research as part of their job, right? My point I'm getting to is, it was kind of like in response to Kev trying to, remind yourself that it's a real, they're real people, but it's not real at the same time. That's why sometimes they feel that it's real. So I like even this. Now I don't let that stuff. There's a perfect segue, because I don't let stuff like that get to me. So one person says, Wes Clark, the bad writing didn't get past us. Non and amateur writers. He said it didn't catch past us either. Non and amateur writers. When she said she came to kill her, I was like, it doesn't make sense. These are two good people. He said these are two good people, and no one going to tell you that I'm. I don't know what this person said. I don't know why they said they're a Virgo.
Well,
But anyway, I'm a Virgo and I overthink things.
Wait a minute. Here's my question though, and this just a note. Like, bro, whoever made that comment, how are you gonna talk about someone's bad writing when you can't even write the comment right? You got a lot of nerve. I'm just saying, you can't even write correctly, speak properly, conjugate correctly, but you got the nerve to be talking about somebody else. Man, go get my goddamn hot fries.
Yeah,
go get my
here's
fries.
Another person. Here's another person. Bullshit. The writing in the first 2 episodes is awful. Do you think it's gonna magically get better? The acting isn't great either. But that has a better chance of improving in further episodes for some than the actors, for some of the actors, than the writing without a different writer or writers. Both actors, writers, and everyone else working on it are supposed to be professionals. So there are no reason for the story to start off as bad as the story is. Not to mention all of the money they had to work with. My reply to that was, well, give examples. I said, you don't get off by just saying it's bad writing. Give me examples, because anyone can say it's bad writing. That's a cop-out to me. All right. I'll read one more before I get everyone's thoughts. So this one says, first he says that I'm one of the bad writers. He says Wes Clark is one of these shitty writers. He's never read anything I wrote. But anyway, so how about the droid Pips McGuffin? It does whatever she needs it to do in the moment. Okay.
Didn't R2D2 do the same thing?
Yeah, doesn't R2D2 do pretty much what she needs?
Nah. RD is a little different, a little bit different. But
no, but I mean,
but it's the same. But it's the same principle. Or when they're in trouble,
or BB-8,
or BB-8,
or
it's a better example.
A droid is your companion. It helps you, right? So, okay, how is there fire in vacuum? Now, that's the one thing I do. I said, okay, and I talked about this with Kev offline. All right,
no, you don't want my answer from that. Do you want my offline answer?
No. Wait.
What's the question?
No, what he said. How is there fire in the vacuum of space? Right, and I said, okay, that wouldn't have been a choice that I made as well. In the first episode, they're talking about when she was on there fixing whatever, and then there was like a fire or whatever. Oh, there's no, I know what they're gonna say. Oh, there's no oxygen in space. Blah blah blah. Blah. Okay, I'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Okay, and then he said, this is their examples that they're giving me supposedly. How the hell did the Jedi capture, take back to Coruscant, and interrogate the other escapees before she woke up from an orbital crash, right? And then I said, okay, so that's another question. I'm gonna address each of them. How about the fact that she fell from orbit and didn't even get a scratch? That's a lie, but we'll go back to that. Why Why the F didn't the escapees just steal the entire prison ship? Why bail out at all?
Because the strip can be tracked. You check. Oh my God. I can't. Oh my.
That's exactly.
It's a prisoner transport ship. I'm
gonna say it like this. Yo, people, it's fiction. Let me explain something to you. When in space, there is like the guys surprised. There's a vacuum, so no, you're not seeing laser bolts coming out of ships. They're not going. You're not hearing.
We're gonna get back to that, Ralph. Hold on to that, Ralph, because we're gonna get back to that. That's the whole thing. That's what my answer to him was like, well, it like you said, it's science fiction. Guess what? We will never know. Allegedly, there's no sound in space, right? So how we hear him pew 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 and all those stuff. So, but we'll get back to that. Here's the other question. It says, why do the twins have the exact same hairstyle to include dye job?
They're twins. Oh my God! Have you never seen twins?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We're gonna get to that. Why did sister? Exactly. Why did the Korean guy say there is no record of OSHA having a twin? Then a minute and a half later, tell us he saw the twin die. Okay, he did not say that. That was another character that said there was no record of her having a twin.
And above all of that, they said,
God didn't say that.
Exactly.
He said he saw her die. He said he saw her die, and he doesn't think that she, the Padawan suggested that it could have been this twin once she found out there was a twin. And he said, no, it wasn't her because I saw her die. Until her twin said she's alive. But anyway, so, and here's one of the last ones. I could literally go on and on. This is a effing terrible. You can tell it was written by committee with nobody in charge. This may be even worse than the SHIT written on Ahsoka.
Wow.
So now Ahsoka was terribly written.
I'm having a hard time not being in my feelings here. Can we please get to? We need, because I'm gonna explode.
Okay, so let's double back. Let's address each one of these so-called. I said they're questions. He's like, they're not questions. They're observations of bad writing. They're examples of bad writing. I said, no, they're questions, really.
Your questions.
I said,
Every
they're
last
not
one of
really
those are questions.
questions. Okay, they're talking about how this thing it does whatever she needs it to do in the moment. Which what's the example of that? Anything that it needs, it doesn't do everything. If that was the case, she would have never been stuck. Yeah, it helped her get out of that thing, but come on, out of the cage or whatever the case may be. What? So that's bad.
But didn't R2 help them get out of the trash compactor?
Yeah, exactly.
Do I need to go on?
Yeah,
do
exactly.
I really? How many
Plenty
times has
of time.
R2 saved the day?
So if you're gonna question that, you could say, well, how the hell is R2 always be able to open every door ever possible?
like he's the smartest droid in the universe. He has
And
the
he
key
has
to
the key
everything.
to every. He has the skeleton key to every door that's ever existed in the universe. Okay, so that's a dumb question to me. That's a dumb observation. Then you have, how is there fire and value? Okay, we go back to that. Okay, we talked about this offline, Kev. There's okay. I'm gonna repeat what you said. What you said.
Go ahead.
Allegedly, we are told that there is no oxygen in space, right? This is what we're told because we have not been there, so we don't know. But this is what's told to us. But sitting high above that all of the planets are revolving around is a big old ball of fire. So,
and listen,
I'm sure you guys know what that is.
Yeah.
You want to call it the star? You can call it the sun, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead.
And not just that, because that's the biggest anyway killer of that whole vacuum in space theory. But the other thing is, let's just say there is a vacuum in space. The line now we don't know what kind of line that she was repairing. So when she was repairing that line could have had oxygen in it, and if there was a spark, that would cause a flame, or at least a brief amount of flame, which she immediately extinguished. So it's, I mean, I know it's supposed to be science fiction, and yes, things are supposed to have a little bit of reality based to make it believable. But come on, it's a fire. It's something that started. It's something that could have blew up the ship with everybody on it. So what is she going to do? Now, we're in space. The vacuum of space will put it out. Let's go worry about this other thing, and then the ship blows up. Come on, stupid.
I'm going to say this. This is my thought, right? Whether there's a vacuum in space or not, all right.
Right.
If all of you that watch Star Wars, like I have many times, we remember this little movie that came out before Star Wars called 2001: Space Odyssey. If you saw the movie, whenever they were in space, there was no sounds, no jets going, no nothing. It was just music, right? A lot of us thought that it was kind of boring.
Right.
So now you got Star Wars, and you're hearing engines, you're seeing beams of light shooting out lasers, and you're seeing all this stuff. You saw that. So homeboy is saying, how is there a fire in space? Do you not remember that when they blew up the Death Star, it was this big explosion of light and fire is like boom.
And Ralph, I want to add to that, Ralph. Not only was that a big explosion of fire, that was a big giant nuclear reactor. It was a planet. So that means that explosion, technically speaking, should have damaged the planet next to it and a couple that was in close proximity. That kind of explosion.
Right, because not for nothing. In the first Star Wars, to those that remember, the Death Star was in orbit around the planet Yavin. Remember, the Rebel base was on the moon. But the reason the Impros didn't blow up Yavin was because it was a giant gas planet. So if you had a nuclear explosion in space, guess what would have happened? Yavin probably would have blew up too, because just by chain reaction, that would have happened.
Yeah.
And for all you
I mean,
guys,
but see, this is funny. That's why I wanted to bring this. I had to bring this to the table because we digging in our bags right now because we have years and years of it. And I'm not knocking any other Star Wars fans that are out there that may know a lot about it,
I
but
can.
I'm just
I can. And I'm gonna even say this to that person that made the comment about the fine space, and then I'm gonna say, sir or ma'am, was it a guy or a girl that said it?
I assume it's a guy. Yeah.
So I'm going to guess that you don't watch either Marvel movies or the DC comics, because if I remember in Batman vs Superman, when Superman took Doomsday into space, he got hit with the nuclear missile, and the fire happened in space, which you could see on Earth. So if that's the case, then you shouldn't have seen it at all, right? It shouldn't have been nothing.
Right.
It should have just dissipated.
Science
What you're saying.
Right.
Well, no, but that's not true, because there's a big ball of fire in the sky that regenerates Superman. So he got blown up by one flame and got regenerated by another one. But I digress.
But you know what happens? This is where, like what you were saying, Wes, and myself and Kevin, we are looking at this scientifically. We're looking at it as realism. But to my knowledge, none of us have ever been on a spaceship traveling through space. None of us have ever lived. None of us have ever lived on a traveling space station. None of us have the ability of the Force. None of us have any of these abilities. So we're all conjecting what we think the audience would like to see. Let's keep it to that. It's a
no, and
fantasy.
actually, if we keep it in a buck, some of the stuff that we're saying is not conjecture, because light can travel through space. Because what is the sun doing? What do distant stars do? That's what we're seeing. The light that's traveled through space. That's what's told to us by our scientists, right? The sun. I mean, you can feel the heat of the sun.
Exactly. You feel the heat of the sun. And not for nothing, right now we're further away from the sun. That's why we have summer. That's why I'm sorry. We're closer to the sun. So
No, you had it right the first time, Ralph. Actually, the sun is actually further away from the earth, and it's just that the angle of the earth that we're in, those rays hit us at that angle consistently, the angle that we're in, or the rotation that we're in right now.
Right. You're right.
Right.
But the entire point is that these are things. And for the person that said, well, the writing is bad, I'll say this. You ever seen this show called Star Trek: The Next Generation? Season 1 is horrible. A lot of the writing is bad. There was a couple of episodes that were good, but if it's 25 episodes and you have maybe 12 of them was good, that means another 12 were bad, poorly written. Did it get better as time went on? I would say yes. It got a whole lot better, right? The acting got better. The storylines got better. The character development really got better, because now you really develop those characters to now the point where we look at the people from Star Trek, and a lot of people sit there and say, which one was better, the original cast or the Next Generation cast? We're not saying about Star Wars which was the better trilogy, the original, the prequels, or the sequels. We all sit to say the originals were the best ones, right? But I'm sorry, but once again, this is all fantasy. It's a movie or a TV show. It is not reality.
It's science fiction. So there's going to be a lot of things. And what I said before was we were trained from day one to accept certain things when it comes to this universe.
Exactly.
Right? So with the Star Wars universe, we are trained to accept the fact that these dudes wield something called the Force, right? We were trained to accept that they have blasters. We're trained to accept that every planet, coincidentally, in this universe has breathable air. Yeah, has breathable air. Yeah, habitable. We were trained to accept that, right? Because you have to, certain things you got to kind of set the bar for, or else you don't have a universe, right? So that's that. To address the other questions. The part about the Korean guy saying that there's no record of Osha having a twin, that is not what he said. That was a different character who said that. It was the young guy who said that. He said, wait a minute, I didn't know she was a twin. It's not in her file. No record of it. And then the guy said, yeah, the other guy said, well, you know, it was. And so with that being said, the other Padawan was about to suggest, well, maybe it was the twin. And he stopped her and said, nah, it couldn't have been the twin. She died. I saw her die. Right. So that's what he said.
Hold on. I gotta interject once again, people. Now, once again, I gotta interject here. With that one, let's look back. If that's the case, right? Why didn't Yoda or Kenobi know that Anakin and first of all, that Luke and Leia were brother and sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't Anakin, with all his great power in the Force, he thought that his kid had died because he found out he killed her. He didn't know that, but he's all powerful. Why did he? So you mean tell me that he never ever felt the presence of Luke and Leia? Now, before anybody answer that question, say no. Then let me ask the question. Princess Leia was part of the Imperial Senate, which Vader was one of the people there. So that means Leia was constantly in his face, even on the Rebel blockade. How come he couldn't feel that was some sort of connection? Two, he's right above Tatooine. He couldn't have felt Luke, but he could feel him throughout the rest of the galaxy. There's all kinds of holes if you go back and as they make more.
Find a lot, and you can and they'll have somewhat answers to that stuff, which I have not really. That's not the point here, but that's what I'm saying. So when people are sitting here, let's call a spade. All right, let's call a saltine a saltine, and let's actually
call a cracker a cracker.
Right? Yeah, let's keep it 100 right here. The history of these toxic Star Wars fans are this. This is and it's not just Star Wars fans. It's also connected to other people, political parties, and conservatives, stuff like that. Because everyone is on this whole that Disney can't wait to make something that's quote unquote woke, as they call it, which is, like I said, that whole word is used in the wrong context all the time. But we'll digress with that.
But they kind of use it in the right context, because that's. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, because you're leading up to something. My bad.
Right. So, with that being said, black female lead in the character of this show, they're already throwing darts at it because of that. It has nothing to do with the so-called writing. The writing is a cop-out excuse. It is a serial series that hasn't even developed the major plot yet. You haven't even gotten to the plot yet. And then after you get the plot, you're going to get a plot twist. So you haven't even gotten the main plot of it yet. So that's BS. Miss me with that garbage. You want to sit there and say the writing is terrible. These examples that this person gave was just a bunch of poppycock, as they call it, right? It just really
watch your language. Poppycock. Big
poppycock. Big words. Yeah, I mean, because
he said cock. He said cock.
I'm definitely trying to, keep our show, monetized. So, but the bottom line is, all of this nonsense, they're trying to hide what it really is. Let's be honest here. You're mad because I'm gonna tell you exactly why they're mad. Black female lead. Okay, that's a double whammy. They don't even like female leads. Look at all of the Daisy Ridley hate, with her. So she's not black; she's a white female. So they don't even like female leads. Black female leads, double whammy. Okay. In the dialogue, it's implied in the first episode that this character had two mothers, because they said the word mothers. They didn't mention of a father. Okay, So right around, you're going to let loose all of the people that are like, oh, you see, you gotta put this in here and da. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, you have that now. So I'm like, oh, okay. Even though it's just slid in there, right? But of course, people gotta go crazy now. Like, it's impossible to have a woman attracted to another woman in the galaxy. So, okay, whatever. Or vice versa for that matter, right? So, once again, let's call it what it is. It's the racist backlash. The same people that came for Moses Ingram from Obi-Wan, the same people that came and complained about Finn. First they complained about a black stormtrooper, then they complained about a black ex-stormtrooper that was able to wield a lightsaber. Then they complain about the ex-stormtrooper lightsaber wielding stormtrooper X that now is attracted to the main character. That was a complaint that actually Disney basically branched off and said, okay, let's not even go down that road. So they decided to make Daisy Ridley's character and what you call it become kind of like attracted to each other.
And they
Kylo Ren.
But honestly, they messed up because you had women. You had Finn character attracted to Rey. You had Poe attracted to Rey, and then in the end, you had
the black girl attracted to Finn.
Ren. Yeah, you had her in a potential relationship with 3 different dudes, and in the end, she goes back to Luke Skywalker's old house with nobody except her robot. I'm just saying.
Yep, her and her toy.
Her and her toy.
But the funny thing is, like I said, we all know why this is. Let's keep it real. I'm not gonna spend too much more time on this. I want to move on to the other subject, but
I just wish you would call it what it is. I just wish you would call it what it is. Just call it what it is. They didn't want that. Who's that brother on that nag holding a lightsaber? But can we?
Yeah, of course. They didn't.
I could come up with numerous examples of that. Like realistically speaking, because I was watching this week in the Heat. In the Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. You know that she was supposed to end up with Shawn Wayans in the movie, but they changed that. They were like, no, we can't have that. The Pelican Brief, no, Julia Roberts can't end up with Denzel Washington. No. Although that's what happens in the book. No, we can't have.
But with that one, Ralph. So scared. But with that one, Ralph, I will have to give. I will give a little bit of pushback on that because Denzel also didn't want to do that because he didn't want to hurt his black. It was like the reverse as well.
Yeah,
Washington didn't want to hurt his fan base with that with his because he was single at the time, I think, and he didn't
married.
want.
He was married.
So he was married then. Okay.
Yeah,
well, he didn't want to hurt his fan base, and that was the words that came out of his mouth. He didn't want to kiss the white woman on screen and then end up alienating his black, because most of his fan base back then was black women.
Okay, so wait. Before you say, so let me ask you the question. If that's what is the case, then did Denzel Washington not have a relationship with a white woman in Malcolm X, which came out before the Pelican Brief?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he had to for the character, though. That was part of the character's art.
Okay. Did Denzel Washington have a relationship with the woman?
Like that was a different character. What I mean is that was a different character. That was a real life character as opposed to
All right, cool. Did Denzel Washington have a relationship with the white woman in heart condition, and she wound up having his baby?
Yeah, early in his career. Where he had less.
Again, like I said, he didn't want to alienate his fan base because you got to remember
I'm not saying that it. When I get what you're saying, Rob. I'm just saying I'm giving answers to it. Early in his career, didn't have as much control of his career as he wanted to. Of course, he took different roles that he decided to take or didn't decide to take. That whole thing. Yeah. I mean, all of that stuff is true. But the point is, they Disney went in and changed it, and what's his name? John Boyega called them out on it for not having his back.
Right.
And as a result of that, they did do some defending of the young lady from the Obi-Wan show. But this one here, this young lady is going to catch it hell as well. She's not doing a bad job, first of all. Mandela Stenberg is a pretty good actress. That's number one. Number two, from what I've seen in the first 2 episodes, I don't see anything that's going to make me say that the writing is terrible because I don't know enough about it yet. Now, if we get a few more episodes down the line and we start pointing out some plot holes and this, that, and the other, then you can start saying, yeah, this writing should be a little bit better, right? They're just throwing darts at it because that's the only thing they can throw darts. They don't want to say what they really feel. They don't want to really say what it really is. And it is what it is. All right. Heaven Hollywood looked like he put in the chat room. Or was that Heaven or was that you, Ralph? No, you're on your own account. So it says Bad Boys 4 is killing it. Good for Will. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so far it's doing well. Will Smith did it was cool. He snuck into a theater and watched Bad Boys 4 with the crowd. They didn't know he was in there. And as everyone is filing out, he walks out with everyone, says, "Hey, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it." And everybody just lost it. They're like, "Whoa, it's Will Smith." Right? They're all taking pictures. He started taking pictures with everybody. But it's a good look for Will. It's a good look for Will. He says here, maybe now Will can get back in Hollywood good graces. I was like, yeah. So it's a good look.
I keep saying it. Money changes your position. If you do something and make money, which is going to make some money, they said they overperformed this weekend. If it makes some money, all forgiven.
Performed well. It definitely performed well over the weekend. I'm hearing good things about it. We'll see. You know,
it was good. I liked it. They addressed, which was funny. They addressed the slap in the movie, which I thought was outrageously funny.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to check it out and see. Yeah, I think Will. That's good for him. That's good for the franchise. Period. So, I want to move over to this documentary real quick. So there's a new documentary on HBO, streaming on HBO Max. It is called Movie Pass, Movie Crash. Right? It's a new documentary that chronicles the rise and fall of Movie Pass. Now, if you're a person like myself, me and Kev laughed about this a lot offline because Kev known me so long. There's a lot of things that's happened in this world that Kev witnessed with me when it comes to me, right? So I'm sure he remembers how I was ranting and raving about Movie Pass.
We argued about it on the show.
Yeah, he argued about it on the show. I was like, listen, I love it. Movie Pass, you can see a movie a day. It's $10 a month. I got a card. Wifey got a card. We going and we're watching movies every damn day, right? And most people that I know that at the time was like, how is this place making any money, right? That was the question. Because, I mean, obviously, if you had a Movie Pass card, what it basically did was give you the money on the card to purchase your ticket, right? With the
and
credit.
what do I keep saying? How is this sustainable? That was the real question out of everybody's mouth.
How is this going to be sustainable? Now, I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to take advantage of it while I have it, right? And so anyhow, long story short, it did not sustain, and it started changing the rules. Things started messing up. Things weren't working. And this documentary, which is really, really, I think it was produced by Mark Wahlberg's company, as a matter of fact, his production company. I think they presented it or produced it or whatever. And it brought a lot of stuff at you that I didn't know at first. First of all, did not know that Stacy Spikes, who is the original original creator and thought of Movie Pass, who is a black entrepreneur, a black man. Also, the man who created the Urban World Film Festival. Did not know that. Same guy.
Yeah.
The guy who created the Urban World Film Festival is the guy who created Movie Pass. All right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder why he's not there no more.
The guy who created is not
No,
there.
it's two different ones, Ralph. It's the Urban World Film Festival, and then there's the Urban Action Film Festival.
No, I know.
I go to Urban World. Yeah,
I go to Urban World Film Festival every year. I go.
Yeah.
I cover it every.
Okay.
So what do you mean? Why he's not there anymore?
I gotta see it because I don't remember seeing any guys of importance walking around.
Well, I mean, he may, and that doesn't mean that he just may not be.
He don't seem like he's that type of guy. He seems like he's in the background kind of guy. He's really like Demetrius, Ralph. If you didn't know Demetrius and that he had a hand in everything, you really wouldn't know because especially how Demetrius runs all over the place. That dude is kind of like that. You wouldn't even know. You could probably bump into him and you wouldn't know.
But he is the one. He is the one who created the Urban World Film Festival, right? And then he came up with the idea for Movie Pass. He was then joined by a gentleman named Hamet Watt, who was another black entrepreneur. And those two.
Wait. I'm sorry. This guy, I know this guy, Stacy Spikes. I see him all the time at Urban World. Where did I go to see?
Okay, there you go.
I'm a see. Now I got a bone rush. I'm like, yo, what the hell, bro?
So you see him all the time there. So that just proved Kevin's point. He's the type of guy he's not walking around looking for accolades saying, "Hey, I created this." He's just there. You know what I mean? But he created it. He created the Urban World Film Festival.
Now when I see him, I gotta say this and say, yo, bro, I'm gonna have to give him from trading day. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? No, not trading day, Men's Society. You know you done fucked up, right?
Yeah. You gotta go grab him up and talk to him. Well, he's gonna get interviewed a lot, now because of this documentary. So him and Hamet, they found and start Movie Pass. Movie Pass was a certain way before I got to it, right? So lo and behold, you have these other two white executives. Mitch Lowe comes in. He's brought on. He becomes CEO of the company, right? At the behest of key investors, while analytics firm Helios and Matherson purchased a majority share in the company. Its CEO, Ted Farnsworth, teamed with Lowe to slash the service price of Movie Pass. This is where I came in. This is where when I got, I heard of Movie Pass. But Movie Pass was going along for years before it got to that $9.99 thing. So these guys came on and decided, and you got Farnsworth, who is, some of them had the background of they used to work at like what was that? What was the background of them? I can't.
One of the guys worked for Netflix.
One guy used to work.
And the other guy worked for Oh God, the Redbox.
Redbox, yeah. Redbox and so they had experience in the film world, which is what kind of got them in and got the key investors to get behind them and say these guys should be running the company. However, we'll keep Stacy as the CFO, right? I think he was the CFO or the COO, something like that. He still had a big, an executive role, but the investors basically said, let's get these guys in here that has experience with movie stuff.
And basically what they said was, they keep it a buck. What they said was, let's get white guys to be the face of the company.
To be the face of the company, basically. And these guys came out and they were trying to sell the company, to the world, right? They're the ones that came up with, let's slash the prices to $9.99 a movie a day. Because they had a certain number that they needed to hit for a subscription base before they can start making profit. They kept saying was, well, we're not going to make profit at first, but once we hit 5 million subscribers, the profit will start. Plus, they were trying to do other things. They were trying to actually do their own, like make their own movies and everything, right? These are all things. So they were just basically telling, let's borrow from Peter to pay Paul until we start making money, right? Fake it till you make it almost. Here's a quote from Spikes where he says, he said in quote, we were learning how to build a plane in mid-flight and changing it from a crop duster to a 747. He's like,
now there is one part of that, Wes, that I do want to add, because the other thing, that the other piece of this, because there's a third piece to it that kind of that the movie didn't really wash over it, but they really didn't magnify it either. Was that guy Hamid or whatever his name was?
Yeah.
The salesman they brought on that that was blowing money like crazy.
Yeah, that too. So they basically brought in different. This happens a lot, way too often in this business and other businesses. These guys came in because they had the flash, right? They had the flash of, okay, they could name drop. I worked for Netflix. I worked for Redbox. We did this. We did that, right? They were kind of not forced in, but kind of pushed into high positions. And long story short, I won't tell you the whole documentary, but you could just watch it, people. But long story short, Stacy Spikes, and Watt, Spikes and Watt was pretty much pushed out of the company, out of their own company that they created. They were pushed out. They gave him a Norman Osborn.
Spikes got fired, actually. What's his face got fired, actually.
They both did.
One dude got fired first because they felt that the other dude, had more. He had more corporate experience, so they was like, "Well, we'll keep you on. You could stay." But the other Negro gotta go.
They eventually fired both of them, and literally, oh yeah, you guys can keep your stock options and this, that, and the other, trying to like sugarcoat it all, right?
Which can't tell for a year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of the stock, I don't know, rules or whatever the case may be, is the fact that they couldn't really do nothing with their stock for a year. Like they couldn't do nothing with it. They couldn't sell it. They couldn't do anything with it for like, there's like a probational year period or something like that. So with that being said, basically, long story short, within that year, these guys ran MoviePass into the ground. They were partying, they were doing that. They were out there trying to be the faces themselves and sell it to the world. At the same time, they're partying, they're throwing parties, they're trying to get celebrities involved. Remember, they funded and produced the Gotti film that was on that god awful film with
John Travolta.
Right. That shit did nothing. They had him on, but they brought in Dennis Rodman at some point during the Sundance Film Festival, and he was out there promoting Movie Pass and just blowing money, no reason, right?
But see, and the thing that nobody's really bringing up, and they didn't bring it up in the documentary, which is what I kind of surmised while watching it, and just once I started realizing what these guys were doing, the other thing they were doing was they were also pocketing money into their own pockets, the three of them, and
What a
then
lot of them do. Yeah.
and then at the same time, the company that was backing them, they were making money for them. So it was, and that's why
Yeah,
they're gonna end up going to jail.
Yeah, because of that, those guys are all facing charges of fraud,
of securities fraud, wire fraud. Well, the one guy, wait, the guy Hamid, the Indian guy, he actually got jail time.
He got jail time already. The other two guys are still awaiting trial. I don't know if they're gonna end up with jail time, but they are awaiting trial still. But they basically all got, because also they were charging the customers, getting money from the customers and literally purposely freezing the accounts.
Yep. That's what happened when I had it. I fought tooth and nail to get rid of it. I complained about it, and I complained about it very loudly on this show about that. I finally got Movie Pass, and they jerked me over. I was like,
And
I got to go.
the same thing happened. The same thing happened. If y'all remember, the same thing happened when you remember when GameStop, and actually there's a documentary about this too. Actually, it's a movie about this about the GameStop boom. When everybody was buying stock in GameStop, and they kept making it, and they were forcing the price of GameStop to go up, and then the trading company, the trading app that they were using, it was a popular trading app too. It's gone now. It was with an Indian guy and a white guy that started it, and they were doing the same thing. They were basically freezing the people from doing their trades. So when people were trying to trade out of GameStop and sell their stock, they were freezing them out. So they couldn't.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the same thing they did with Movie Pass.
With Movie Pass, except they were doing it to members and stuff. So long story short, as we know, Movie Pass plummeted, the stock plummeted, and before these gentlemen who created this entity could get a chance to do anything with their stock, inside of a year, they lost almost over $80 million. That would have been what their stock was worth, right? So they basically came out of it with no money, that they made from it.
The other guy, what's the other guy's name, Wes? The guy with the curly hair, Hamed. Hamed actually lost money because he put money in.
Yeah, he lost money.
Came in as an investor. He lost like $5 million, I think.
Yeah, he lost $5 million, his own money that he invested, and then the potential money, added up to almost $80 million that they lost out on. Oh, he was hurt. You could tell that dude was trembling when he was talking about that.
Yeah, because not only did he lost his money, and he lost other people's money that he brought in.
Yeah, that he bought in because he came in as a main investor at first. And I tell you, man, it's just a tragic situation. But lo and behold, Stacey Spikes did do what, he waited. And when everything was at its lowest and during the pandemic, he actually bought the company back, right? So he now re-owns Movie Pass, and they relaunched, as I knew that they relaunched in like what 2021 or something like that. They relaunched 2022. Yeah, I mean they exist now. They have a new infrastructure that actually is making profit. This is the first time in their existence that they're actually making profit from their infrastructure. Now it ain't my cup of tea. When I first saw that they was coming back, I was like, "Oh, Movie Pass coming back. Maybe they got their shit together." And I'm looking, and I'm like, you know what? It ain't worth it. I was already a part of another situation. But make no mistake, these gentlemen are the first ones to do this. All of the ones, the AMC and all of that followed them. It's just basically, following suit, following them. These guys, these two black entrepreneurs came up with this whole thing. And this man, as we know, he does Urban World Film Festival. He is he's always that out of box thinker. Because it's the same reasons that he created Urban World, to offer more opportunity to black filmmakers and people of color, storytellers.
Same reason
Because
why
we
he did
didn't
what he did
really
with this.
have. Right. It's the same reason why he did with this. He wanted more people to be able to enjoy the movie experience, right? Because everyone's complaint was the movie's too expensive, this and the other. So he wanted people to enjoy the movie experience, he gave that to them where they can enjoy it. But obviously not at the expense of their own company. But it's a great watch. Everyone should check it out. It is very insightful. I really enjoyed it. And these two gentlemen, you feel bad for them. At the same time, you can't help but respect and admire these guys for coming up. It just goes to show you that the moment you do something, the corporate greed will kick
Crack
in.
saltines.
Yeah, will kick in and destroy everything you got, right? And then just be like, oh well, you know, because
And
like
on
you said, that money that they stole, I'm sure they squirreled away some of it for a rainy day, untraceable
they did.
stuff like that. They did untraceable versions of that money that they squirreled away, knowing that they probably would get caught eventually, and that's probably what's keeping them out of jail to this day.
Listen, they said the one dude, that's all he does is he
Yeah,
gets in the companies, he
yeah,
runs up the stock, gets it up really high, and then he bounces on to the
and he
next thing.
bounces to the
And
next
that
thing.
should be that should be this movie is a real cautionary tale of
Yeah,
how you need to watch the market and when you
yeah,
really and when to bail and and how to move in the
mhm,
market, and especially if you start your own business. It's good to get venture capital if you can get it, but you know what, the best capital is the capital that you get on your own. I'm all for spending somebody else's money to build up,
mhm,
to build up a company. But if I'm going to be spending somebody else's money, I want to be able to give them back a good return, and I want to be able to
yeah,
do it without the risk of bringing somebody else in that's going to put everybody in jeopardy. And you got to do it's all in. If they would have did a more thorough background check on Homeboy, I think that they would have not have made the decision that they made
yeah.
to
If they
to
did more
bring him
thorough
on.
background check, but once again, what you always got to say is when you have that. I think it was Damon John. They had Damon John in there, kind of commenting on it. He was like, yeah, but what happens is when you get to this point and you're so hungry and the money is dangled in front of you, like you tend to jump to it and you take it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it, even though it may not be
True.
the best decision for you, you take it, and that's that. I mean, hell, that's coming from a shark from Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're all about making deals, and trying to dangle a carrot in front of you and make you take the
I
deal.
mean, and listen, and you talk about for us by us. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
he's the epitome of of knowing how when the carrot is dangled to be like,
Yeah,
nah, big, I'm gonna go this
yeah.
way.
I'm not right. So that I mean, check it out. It's a good a good watch. Can't check that out. So before we go, I want to take the last few minutes to kind of share with the audience some of the rankings and lists of songs that I came up with for this upcoming tournament for the battle of the best movie song, right? Um, so real quick, criteria for people who may or may not know. I use the criteria of picking songs that are. This is all movie songs, not per se theme songs or soundtrack songs. Mostly songs that were probably some sort of pop song that was either written for the movie or just in strong relation to the movie. Whether it's I Want to Sex You Up was not written for uh New Jack City, but it has a strong connection to it because it played throughout, not throughout, but it played in a part of the film, right? Or as hell, you could even say can't let's just use an example. Can't Buy Me Love is a song that was out years before the movie came out. Can't Buy Me Love, right? But it the movie was connected to it because it was named after the song. Same thing with Pretty Woman. That's a song. That song wasn't made for the Pretty Woman soundtrack, right? But it's Pretty Woman. But then you have songs like My Heart Will Go On, that was written for Titanic, right? So that's why it's connected to it. So anyway, and then I took all of these different songs from research and I organized them based on um the popularity of the film along with the chart the chart top of the chart of the song. So the first 10 of the songs on this list were all number one hits on the Billboard 100 charts. With the exception of number 10, that peaked at number 2 on Billboard. And then the rest of them are kind of still based on popularity of the song and the movie. And then I just kind of came up with the ranks that way. And then of course we rank them like we seed them like the NCAA and do the first one, number 1 versus number 64, and so on and so on and so on. So anyway, let me share the screen here and I'll show you the list right here that we have here. I also decided that a couple things, certain films that had major soundtracks that had multiple songs that might have hit the charts and does kind of represent the thing. Just for the sake of getting other songs in, I decided to just narrow it down to 1, no more than 2 from a movie. I also excluded animated films. I excluded animated films and I also excluded musicals. Music films that are based on musicals I took out. This is all stuff that's legitimately got songs that were on the pop charts, based on the film.
So what? No Staying Alive? No Staying Alive in there?
Staying Alive is not a musical. Staying Alive. There's something.
I'm sorry, not that. No, not that. I mean, no Grease Lightning.
No Grease Lightning. I took out that stuff. Musicals. Okay, where is it now? Let me just. Okay. Think we got here, right? You guys can see that, right? So right here in the top 10, we have I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard, which, it got the number 1 rank based on where it peaked at on the charts and the popularity of it along with the movie. Number 2 is My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion. We have Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, Survivor, Lose Yourself, Eminem, Staying Alive, as you just mentioned, Ralph. Bee Gees, Gangster's Paradise from Coolio, Dangerous Minds, Footloose, Kenny Loggins, Take My Breath Away, Berlin from Top Gun, Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds from The Breakfast Club, and Purple Rain from Prince. Purple Rain actually peaked at number 2 in the top 100 charts. That's why it ended up number 10 based on the rank. Then we go on, of course, Against All Odds, Phil Collins, Call Me, Blondie, Flashdance, What a Feeling, Irene Cara, Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News, from Back to the Future, Up Where We Belong from Officer and a Gentleman, Night Fever, Bee Gees. So I capped it at 2 because there's about 4 songs that you could probably put from Saturday Night Fever, right? But and if it did make more, there More Than a Woman is there too. So that's why I'm showing it to everyone now, because I think we should probably eliminate 1 or 2 of these songs from Saturday Night Fever and just put something else on there that may not have made the list. But I'm reading them off now for what I have. And of course, this isn't written in stone. Kiss from a Rose, St. Elmo's Fire. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped over. Kiss Me, Sixpence None the Richer from She's All That. St. Elmo's Fire from St. Elmo's Fire. Kiss of a Rose from Batman Forever. Endless Love. Car Wash, Rolls Royce from Car Wash. It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. GC, not Boys the Men's version, the original version from Cooley High. Men in Black, Will Smith. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Aerosmith from Armageddon, Crazy for You, Madonna, Vision Quest, 9 to 5, Dolly Parton, 9 to 5, Maniac from Flashdance, More Than a Woman. Again, like I said, we could always pull that off, but right now that's there. Time of My Life of Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes, Dirty Dancing, Hungry Eyes from Dirty Dancing. Then you have Old Time Rock and Roll from Risky Business, Pretty Woman from Pretty Woman. It Must Have Been Love. I think once again, this is my opinion. You guys give me your opinion once we get through the list. I think it's going to sound weird, but I think Pretty Woman should come off because
it should.
Yeah, I think Pretty Woman should come off because I think It Must Have Been Love gives you more, to me, at least for me, it gives me more of a memory of the movie than Pretty Woman, in my opinion. But then you have The Heat Is On, Glenn Fry, Beverly Hills Cop, Love Should Have Brought You Home, Tony Braxton, Boomerang, Highway to the Danger Zone, Top Gun, Fight the Power, Do the Right Thing, Holiday Road, Vacation, Shy Guy, Bad Boys, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, from Mannequin, starts Jefferson Starship, I Want to Sex You Up, New Jack City, Glory of Love from The Karate Kid Part 2, Know the Ledge from Juice, Rakim, Arabian Rakim, Bittersweet Symphony, Cruel Intentions, In Your Eyes, Peter Gabriel, Say Anything, Just Once, The Last American.
There you go. Yeah. Can we finally stay
God, I can't. Every time I think of that song, I start laughing. The Loser's Anthem. But anyway.
You know what? Since you said that, wait. Since you said that, let's just sit there and say, for the sake of this, that James Ingram loses, right? Whenever someone else loses, we should play that when next time. Just once.
That's a great idea. That is an awesome idea. Provided he doesn't win, which I don't think he will, but I'm just saying, provided he doesn't win.
Oh, but we know stranger things have happened.
But I guess the best wasn't good enough. I guess my best wasn't good enough. So Back in Black, Iron Man, AC/DC, Streets of Philadelphia, Happy from Despicable Me, Earned It from 50 Shades of Grey, Best That You Can Do, which is from Arthur, Total Eclipse of the Heart from Old School, Blaze of Glory, Young Guns 2, Deep Cover, Don't Let Go, Set It Off. It's hard out here for a pimp from Hustle and Flow. All the Stars, Kendrick Lamar and SZA from Black Panther. Stuck in the Middle with You, Reservoir Dogs. Iris from City of Angels. 1,000 Miles from the 1,000 Years. I'm sorry, not 1,000 Miles. That's Vanessa Carlton from White Chicks. But 1,000 Years is the song from the Twilight Saga. Unchained Melodies, The Righteous Brothers from Ghost. And then you have Everything That I Do for You from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. 1,000 Miles, Vanessa Carlton from White Chicks. And number 64, we have We Don't Need Another Hero, Tina Turner from Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. So that is the list as of right now.
Well, I know a song that should be on there that ain't on there that I don't think I heard anyway. Immigrant Song.
I got a bunch.
Immigrant Song from Thor Ragnarok.
The who?
Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin from Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Remember his opening? Watch the trailer. That opening trailer.
Okay. All right. And then what else you was gonna say, Ralph?
Well, I don't see Ghostbusters on this list.
Right. Ghostbusters. I did have that on there at one point. I was struggling with it, but yeah.
I don't see Careless Whisper by Wham on there.
Oh, you're bugging now. Where's that at?
But Careless Whisper from what movie?
Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You gotta have it. So Roy Orbison goes off. George Michael goes.
Let's take. Well, Roy Orbison I think should come off anyway, but and
I agree. I agree with the Julia Roberts thing because I do because when I think of Julia Roberts, I think Prince. When I think Pretty Woman, I do think of the song Pretty Woman when I hear the movie Pretty Woman, but I'm also think of her singing Kiss in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I think of It Must Have Been Love to me represents the movie because it kind of does represent the movie.
That's your saltine. That's your saltine side, drinking saltine.
No, I mean really. I mean, think if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it represents the movie. It must have been love. It's over now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of represents the theme of that movie, right? So that's why
that was a banger too. That was a banger.
I would take Total Eclipse of the Heart off.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, I mean that ain't much different. That ain't much different from one of the other ones because in Old School, I mean, hell, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take it off, but what I'm saying is the reason why it even went on there is because he changed the whole way, and I'm a witness of this. I used to go to a shout out to Changing Times Pub in Farmingdale, New York, Long Island. I used to go there all the time to a little band there called the Invisible Band, and they used to sing Total Eclipse of the Heart, but they'd sing it like it was sung on Old School, and I need you all tonight. I fucking need you more than ever. like changed it up or whatever. And a lot of bars that became very popular in bars, it being sung that way.
And the only reason why it became popular in bars to be sung that way is because unfortunately the other way, the original way, everybody got sick. Like that song got played out really fast. Like people hated that, especially metal rock heads hated it. That was like listening to disco to them.
Oh wow.
It was
But that new
Okay,
way became I'm just saying. I'm not saying that I wouldn't take it off, but I'm just saying
but
it
that's
became
why
a
to me,
bar phenomenon. You
yeah,
know,
and that's why it should stay on the list
because of
because that
old school.
song, yeah, and that's why I think it should stay on the list because it had that much of an impact on everybody. Like everybody loved that song. Girls loved that song. Even some guys loved that song. But then, like after 6 months, it was like enough is enough. Like Z100 just kept playing that song over and over and over and over.
And that guy who wrote that song, he writes a lot of the songs. He wrote a lot of songs for Meatloaf. He writes a song like you could tell his style because if you think about it, that song. Think about another song that it's called "Making Love Out of Nothing
Nothing
at
at
All."
all.
Making love,
Love.
same type of setup. The background, all
The
of that. So
harmonies,
you put in
everything.
the background, all the
man, you
harmony.
sound like
Same
Stewie
guy.
from Family Guy.
Hey, well, hey, it is what it is. I'm no singer.
But like I said,
Yeah.
I think I would take the Bonnie Tyler song out. I would either put in there "Shallows" by Gaga and Cooper,
Yeah, I
or
had that in there too. I don't know why I definitely would put that one back in as well. Yeah,
we can
Shallow.
go with "After Seven's Nights Like This" from the Five Heartbeats.
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 Or "Not Gonna Cry" by Mary J. Blige from Waiting to Exhale.
Okay. Yeah, that one definitely represents that movie. Not Gonna Cry. Everybody remembers that whole Not Gonna Cry. So yeah, okay. Cool. That's good.
And
That's good.
go back up. No, go up. Who else?
Well, Roy Orbison we're definitely gonna take out.
I mean, I know Diana King. I would. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I should have got with her, but even for her, that's a whole nother story. I mean, not for nothing. Shit. What would I take her out? I mean, something. Now I know this might be controversial, but would I take that out and put R. Kelly's "I Believe I Can Fly"? You know?
Yeah, it's not controversial, not to me. I mean, it is what it is. I can care less about
I'm just saying,
yeah.
I don't see unless I missed it. I don't see Danger Zone in there.
No, Danger Zone's on here. You talking about Kenny Loggins?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
That's right there, number 36, Highway to the Danger Zone.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's there. Yeah, you can't not have that. That definitely represents.
But even his other one, "I'm All Right" from Caddyshack.
I don't have.
I might put that on there.
First, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I cannot put that song on without dying laughing because all I think about is that damn gopher gyrating his hips, saying, all right. Yo, I can't. Yo, I see that and I remember how many times Caddyshack would come on TV and I'd be watching it on and off and I cannot miss the end when the gopher comes up and he's like, I'm all right. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if that ends up in here, we gotta show. We can't just play the music. We gotta show that part.
You gotta show the clip. I mean, I might because you got three songs for that. I might take one around and put in James Brown's "Living in America" from Rocky IV.
Maybe. I had that on my list of like honorable mentions or whatever. I definitely the ones that I definitely think Shallow we probably should find somewhere for it in here. And what was the other one you had just said too?
I said I still said "Careless Whisper."
You said "Not Gonna Cry." You said "Not Gonna Cry." "Not Gonna Cry" is definitely that's another one that definitely is immediately you think what you call it waiting to exhale when you hear that. So I don't have I'm gonna tell you right out the gate, obviously We already said Pretty Woman. I don't have a problem taking that out at all. I also don't have a problem taking out even what you said with old girl for Bad Boys. I don't have a problem taking her out. Let's see. Um and I definitely don't have a problem taking out one or even two of the Bee Gees songs. At least one of them has to stay. If I had to say the one that has to stay, I think it's what you call it? What's the name of it? Man,
Well, Staying Alive.
Staying Alive. Yeah.
That's gotta
That's
stay.
the one I would think. If anything, if I had to choose one, I would say Staying Alive. It's just the signature of the song. It's the beginning of the movie. I think don't they play it again? Don't they play it like at the end as well? I know at the end they play
No.
How Deep Is Your Love at the end,
I
which
would
is one of the most stupidest things in the world to me. I
if
was
you
not
if
arguing, but
I
I was
would
talking with my brother about it. I hated the ending of Say.
I would trade if you trade it, I would take You Should Be Dancing because that's when he takes over the dance floor. If you replace one of the Be Night Fever for that one, you could be dancing. I'll be okay with that one.
Right. Or More Than a Woman is another one where they were dancing together. That was when they did their dance together. That was a big pivotal. See, there's a pivotal part of the movies. That's why I'm saying I think that let other songs in. We should take a few of them out.
But really, for that movie, the signature song from that movie is Staying Alive. I mean, because everybody,
it is
even people who didn't know the name of the song was called the calls it Saturday Night Fever, and it's Staying Alive. It's like, but nobody ever calls it that.
Yeah. No. Staying Alive. Not even for the signature. Yep, not even for the sequel. The Staying Alive is definitely the signature song of that. It's just like, like I said, it's the first thing you hear when the movie comes on. People automatically put that to it. That's definitely the signature song.
Yeah, and whenever people do that stupid dance, it's the do 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 boom 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 boom. It's
So
the strut when they be strutting down the street that you and I not for nothing, I think I would take out Call Me by Blondie and replace that with Righteous Melody from Ghost.
No, that's on here. Righteous Melody from Ghost is on here. That Oh My Love, you talking about that? Yeah, that's on here.
Oh, okay. Oh, Unchained
Melody.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on here. I don't know about Blondie. I don't know if I'd take that out because of the fact that number one, it was a hit. It was a number one hit. Number two, once again, it's just like I liken that to Staying Alive. It's the first thing you see when the movie comes on. American Gigolo. He's driving. Now I think that really when you hear that song, if you're gonna think of the movie, think of a movie, you're gonna hear it when think of it when you hear that song. You may not even remember American Gigolo until that song comes on, and it was written for the movie. You know what I mean?
I didn't put Harold for Tomorrow's Axel F up there because it's in all the Beverly Hills Cop movies.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's an instrumental thing.
I know. I thought about that, and I was trying to stay away from instrumentals. I thought about that one too. But yeah, definitely. What we'll do is to, solidify. Just send me your list, and like I said, a lot of these, I think, can be replaced. Not a lot, but a few of them can be replaced. I have no problem only having one song representing Saturday Night Fever, the signature song, and replace with some of these songs that you're saying. Take out Pretty Woman, maybe take out Shy Guy. The only reason why the reason why the Shy, because once again, when I hear Shy Guy, I do think of Bad Boys because they were in the video. You know what I'm saying? They were the two guys from Bad Boy was in the video, and I just think, like, I always think about Martin and Will clowning around, dancing while she's, you know, singing her song and stuff, and it reminds me of Bad Boys. So that's why I'm like, okay, if a song is going to remind you of a movie, you know, a few steps, you know, a few tunes into it, and it reminds you of a movie, then it might need to be on this list.
I mean, Diana King, that's a whole nother story with me. But if I was going to keep Diana King on there, it wouldn't be that one. It'd really be Say a Little Prayer from My Best Friend's Wedding. I'd go with her well, no, because that's more special. That's the remix, the Say a Little Prayer remix.
Yeah, it's the remix. Yeah,
but I probably, you know, and wait a minute, one more thing. The sentimental side of me, you said no animated movies, but you got Happy in there from Despicable Me. Then I'm sorry, man.
We can take that out. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say, because you're gonna keep him in there. I'm sorry, man. Stan Bush's, you got the touch.
No, of course, the touch. Yeah, I had that in there at first. Yeah. So, you know, Despicable Me could come out. You know what I'm saying? Which I kind of felt it probably would. You know, just sticking to the whole rule of no animated films. But then if that's the case, that's probably why I didn't put I Believe I Could Fly on there, because of that. Because of you know, that's you know,
yeah, I got that.
All right. So well, half animated at least. So that's probably why I took it off originally too. I think Happy was supposed to come off, and I just forgot to take it off and replace it with something. Yeah. So send me your list. And then, you know, we'll go with starting refilling some of these.
Most of the stuff on my list you actually have down there quite. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, that's the one. Oh yeah, from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Because when I hear that song, I immediately flash to Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't think, I mean, you have to think Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it's just play the simple. Oh yeah. I think of Deadpool too.
Yeah.
But of course, you have to think Ferris Bueller before you think, because that's what prompted Deadpool to do it. Ferris Bueller Day Off. You know, I don't have a problem taking the weekend off as well from the 50 Shades of Grey. I ain't got a problem taking Earned It off. It does in direct coordination with the film and all of that, but I don't have a problem removing that. Yeah, out of the whole juice
take that off. Take that one off, and because now you're talking about strictly a song that's from the movie that may not been made for the movie that you remember. I'm putting Aerosmith's "Dude Looks Like a Lady" for Mrs. Doubtfire, because when I hear it, it makes me think about Mrs. Doubtfire more than the actual song. "Dude Looks Like a Lady" by Aerosmith.
Like a lady. Okay, and put it on your list and send it to me. Yeah. Who else? I'm just marking off stuff that I know that could probably come off. There's the Unchained Melody. That's there.
Joseph in here talking about some song called "I See Fire" from The Hobbit.
I See Fire. I don't know that one.
I never heard of it. And it's also about the theme song to Django.
The themes of Django. I can't rock with that.
I can't. I don't think I can rock with that one.
You got also kind of think that song was not no top 10 hit or you know, on the Billboard 100 or anything like that. Because you know, these are mostly, you got to think about this being songs as opposed to themes. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Songs that were songs. some of them written for the movies, some of them just connected to the movies, but they were still hit songs. So that's what's gonna separate it from the other tournament that we were doing about movie theme songs. You see what I'm saying? That's what separates this tournament from that one. These are movie songs, that represents the movie. And so when you hear it, it takes you back to a specific part of the movie, or reminds you of the movie. Yeah. So just make sure you send me over that list. And I put that's Despicable Me. That could go. And I love your idea, Ralph. I think Just Once should be played every time somebody gets eliminated. Oh man. Shout out to Diane Franklin. Shout out to what's my boy name who played Gary. Shout out to him. Y'all did some memorable stuff there. Have us talk about it 40 years later.
I know.
In Your Eyes, that's a no-brainer. In Your Eyes is a no-brainer. Cruel Intentions is a no-brainer, in my opinion. Cruel Intentions is a Bittersweet Symphony. Glory of Love. Okay,
I might trade the Madonna song. See, because Madonna, you got Crazy From You, but I could go with
No.
Get Into the Groove.
No. What?
Get Into the Groove. Desperately Seeking Susan.
Nah, I prefer Crazy For You.
This used to be my playground.
From the what you call it? Yeah.
From Mannequin.
It used to be my playground from A League of Their Own.
Yeah, I can go with that one. I can go with Kiss to Tell from Close Range. I personally, if it was Madonna, I would always say Vogue. But although Vogue was on Dick Tracy's soundtrack, it ain't really associated with.
It doesn't It doesn't remind you of Dick Tracy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hated that. Yeah, that's why I didn't go with Vogue, because to me, Vogue only reminds me of the video for Vogue. That's all.
Exactly.
It doesn't remind me of Dick Tracy. I don't even remember it. I have to think hard to remember it was on the Dick Tracy soundtrack,
Right.
That's yeah. But I put courage. We'll see about what you call it. Well, I'm going to put that up against this used to be my playground, but what did it do as a song? What did it do on the charts? Is it more of a significant song than Crazy For You? Crazy For You was a hit song from Madonna, from Vision Quest.
Yeah, and Crazy For You, my first, my second on the books job. I call it my first real job. When I worked when I was a dishwasher at Pancake Cottage, that song was always playing on the jukebox. Why? Because every time that I had a chance to, I got yelled at. Because I was sneaking out of the back from washing dishes, and I go drop like $3 worth of quarters in the machines, and just had that song going on repeat. And they could never figure out, like, why does this song keep playing?
I like the song.
They thought it was something wrong with the jukebox. I love that song.
Funny.
Let's see here. Used to Be My Playground. It earned Madonna a Golden Globe nomination for Best Original Song. It was number one on the U.S. Billboard 100. It was her 10th top charting single, breaking her tie with Whitney Houston to become the female artist with the most number one hits. Although Houston would later tire again with "I Will Always Love You."
Okay, I know, right? So it's legitimately can be up there. It can legitimately be up there because of that. And so anything, I think for the most part, everything in the top 20 can't really be moved out. Up till Endless Love, which is top 20, it's number 20 on there. I'll definitely just send me that list of those things, and we'll see which other ones that we can pull out and put in. And I think that's it. And hopefully next week we can get this thing going. I already started putting the brackets together, but I didn't want to solidify all of them until this is solidified. And then I'll be able to redo the brackets because I have most of them done, but we do them. I'm just gonna put an asterisk next here, so in case Jesus. Fight Pound, Glory and Love, Know the Ledge, Bittersweet Symphony in Your Eyes. Okay, just one, just once. Back in Black. That's another one. Back in Black, it does remind you of Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't made for Iron Man, but it reminds you of Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Every time you hear it now, every time I hear it, I think of Iron Man. Do 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 do.
That's why I said that and Immigrant Song was two of the best picks that Marvel could have ever picked for. So like the Immigrant Song for Thor Ragnarok made that movie. It made you want to go see that movie.
And then Streets of Philadelphia, Happy. I put the things next to that. I mean, this does remind me. I hate this song though. This song is so boring to me. But it does. When I hear it, I think of Arthur, for sure. Best you can do. I definitely think of Arthur when I hear it. I just, God, it's so boring. The moon in New York City. And yeah. I'll put a asterisk next to the cover. I'll put an asterisk next to that too, even though I do think of the movie when I hear that. But with that there anyway. Yeah, there you go. Stuck in the Middle. That's another one that wasn't made for Reservoir Dogs, but you remember it because with him doing that whole deal, dancing around with the knife and cutting my man's ear off. You think of Stuck in the Middle with you, because that also then they have isn't there a Will Ferrell movie that's connected to that song, right? Or is it Will Ferrell? Or there's another comedy that's connected to that song. I don't know if it was a Will Ferrell movie or if it was some other guy movie. Maybe it was a Jim Carrey movie, Stuck in the Middle. I think that was the movie where they were stuck together. I think that song got connected to that too, but I think of Reservoir Dogs from that song.
Yeah, I always think about Reservoir Dogs, cutting the ear off.
Wait, when who was stuck together?
There was a comedy with Jim Carrey. Yeah. Stuck on You or Stuck with
with Matt Damon
like
and Greg Kinnear. I don't know what that's
what it was.
The one with him and Homeboy.
Okay, that's who it was. I don't know why I thought it was Jim Carrey, but I thought that song was connected. But either way, that song is connected to Reservoir Dogs more so than anything. Yeah. And there you have it. So I will send me the list and we'll go from there. Let me stop sharing screen here. And sorry, what was Joseph's throwing a bunch of stuff in there, but yeah, man, we'll see how it turns out. But I think we can get that tournament started ASAP. And yeah, man, so I definitely thank everybody that came through. That came to the chat rooms, came through on Facebook. For all of you Facebook so-called these groups that saying all of this nonsense, you toxic Star Wars fans,
stop being bougie. Man. Stop being bougie.
Stop being bougie. Stop being some nerd and go get some ass or something, do something. Go get some. You know
get
what I mean?
Out Mom's basement.
Get out Mama's basement and go get some poontang.
Listen, put down the Jergens lotion and the Scotch tissue and get out the house.
Yeah, and pick up a woman. put the tabletop Dungeons and Dragons and waving wands and all that stuff you do. Put all that stuff.
Even
away.
Sheldon got married. Let's keep it up.
Exactly. Even Sheldon got some trim. That's what man, like Eddie Murphy used to say in 48 Hours. I need some trim.
And he got an actual scientist. He married an actual astrophysicist.
Wait a minute. Do we put that Eddie Murphy song there? The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town. I thought about that too.
Oh yeah, 48 Hours.
And I think that was actually. I think that was actually the Bus Boys. That was
the Bus Boys.
That was the Bus
It was
Boys.
the Bus Boys. That's what it was.
That was a hit for the Bus Boys. That was their only hit.
It was.
Yeah, the boys.
That really put them on the map because they was just a regular house band.
Yeah. That movie did put them on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a way to put them in there. The boys are back in town. Well, that was my joint too. Yeah, that was their only hit. So yeah.
I know. So if they do concert, they just do that one song and that's it. Like we out.
It.
Thank you.
Remember, they were Eddie took them on the road with him. Remember?
Yeah, they opened up. They opened up Delirious.
They were opening up. They opened up Delirious. They were opening up for Eddie.
Yeah,
they opened up Delirious too. So yeah, that was a big thing for them. Yeah, so I got people here, boy. They get it. But yeah, man. So that's cool. So next week we will hopefully be able to start the tournament and get popping and queue up that James Ingram every time somebody gets eliminated.
We got you know what? You know what? We gotta get that one just once. Queens, another one bites the dust.
Another one.
You know what? Yeah, and you know what about that just one song? As much as I hate to say this, as much as I want it in a competition so it could be an upset, that should just be the song that we play as a goodbye to whoever loses.
Exactly. Whoever
loses. It automatically goes to the top of the list of the tournament, and it's just a goodbye ode.
It's just the ode. Sorry. You did your best, but your best wasn't good enough. Go. Cutthroat. You got to go.
Cutthroat.
Yeah.
Good Lord, Facebook is gonna cut us off. If it ain't for crackering, it's gonna be for just once.
Just once, the loser's anthem. So and it only became the loser's anthem because of that movie. That's what made it the loser's anthem. I mean, it is kind of like a loser song too, but he's just saying just once. You know, can we figure out? No, it's okay.
That ain't a loser song. That's a broken heart song, man. That's a brother that.
Well, one and the same. Because when you're broken heart, you're lost.
You're not. Let me tell you something. The broken heart is worse. Your baby leaving you is worse than losing a game. You can get over losing a game eventually.
It depended on the person, I guess, because I know some people. Shout out to my son Deontay. He don't like losing nothing.
Yeah.
He's a sore loser. He can't.
Listen, losing a good piece of crotch. I have you sitting beside yourself.
And that's what I'm saying, though. Let's be honest. When you got that one, when people out there, when you got that one woman, whether you felt you love her or she was just a good, you know what? If you lose it, you start feeling like a loser, at least for a moment.
Yeah. Listen,
you might get back to it.
No, you start doing stuff like you start doing stuff like grabbing a mail and running to a job to drop it off to her, just so you can have an excuse.
Exactly.
I'm telling on myself. Oops.
That's just like what you call it. Theo kind of had that with, gotta change that answering machine. Yeah. It's like, gotta change that answering machine.
You keep getting the message back. over and over because you don't want to lose. But you know what? I'm not gonna say that because my mom did that for a while after my dad died. She didn't change that.
But
She
that's
didn't change the
different.
message on the
That's
machine.
different. He didn't leave her. He left her by not by
He
choice.
passed away.
Right. He didn't leave her by choice.
You know what? Well, I'm
talking about when the girl hits you up and says, you know what? I think we need to take a break. It's not you, it's me.
Oh Jesus! Not that it's not you, it's me. Oh
It's not
my
you,
God!
it's me. I have to.
Now take it back to '88.
I gotta find.
I gotta find myself.
Hey, you know what? That's what, yo. It's not you. It's just me. And just once is lightly playing in the background.
The instrumental is played in the background.
Jesus Christ! I can't.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's playing in the background. Are you serious? I can't. Well, anyway, so yeah, we'll get that started next week. I'm still laughing.
Oh man,
it's so bad. Thanks to everybody. Shout out to everybody though that came through and all of that. So yeah, we'll end the show with this.
Best, but I guess
Good night, everybody.
You're right.
If you can't do your best because your best wasn't good enough, just think.
If you want to stay or head on out the door.
Wait, here we go, right here. Turn it up, everybody.
Can we figure
that we keep doing wrong?
Oh my God.
Why the best never lasts for long?
And then you think of Gary driving away.
What are we doing wrong?
Gary crying after he just got his heart ripped out again.
Can we find a way?
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Peace.